A young woman returns home from yet another bad first date. She's tired. She's dejected. She's thirsty. She opens her refrigerator only to find...
No, stop. Stop. We've been doing this podcast for months now.
Yeah?
And we're not getting it. It's the same thing episode after episode. We try it different ways. We try different things. And every time we fail. It's not about the creativity. It's not about whether or not we use AI. It's never about whether or not we do something different. It's about the work. We're not putting in the work. My time is valuable. I cannot put up with the quality of work that we're putting out. I will no longer tolerate poor work.
I guess. This is an untitled film about a refrigerator. Great to be back here. 25 years, 48 hours.
I'm sorry, I got a little carried away.
You never get carried away. So you get one pass. Just one.
Just
one pass. I wasn't listening anyway.
So today's film is an untitled film about a refrigerator. And this is one of the films that stuck around with us for quite a while. It is visually striking, and we often use clips of it in our intros and various other things. And what I remember most about this film after we were done with it is one of the films where its use of special effects really fit.
I like that. That's solid. Yeah, we utilize a lot of special effects here and there. Some are blatant, some are subtle, some are things that you probably don't even recognize. Like, for example, in the original Bloom, right? The all wall art were special effects, right? There was a lot of things that are special effects, and it's interesting how the Cup of Meat special effects machine has sort of morphed and changed over the years, right? If you think about one of our earliest films, Mentor, which you haven't seen yet, it's sort of a Monty Python-esque style of special effect, of almost a cartoony sort of special effect. That was fun.
What I've always felt like is we have weird, quirky ideas for our films that very often don't lend themselves to a pure shoot. Special effects are required for us to achieve the bizarre visions that we have. And I've always felt like it's trying everything at our disposal.
I love that. That's
Mentor,
accurate. Yeah.
That was very much inspired by Monty Python and South Park. You cut out things from paper and just move them, and I just did with animated Lenin. It was just digitally.
Yep, absolutely. With the shadow puppetry, and then the digital Lenin at the end, and then Trotsky at the end. That was a little bit more complicated, right? That was actually a little moving eyebrows.
He's got far more personality.
What? Well, go ahead. That's why they killed him.
But I think as you go through the films, you see that evolution throughout, from very simple, rudimentary things to all the different plugins and effects. One interesting thing with the 48-hour film that I've always had in my mind is one of the rules they've always had is you can't use pre-existing footage. You can't film something ahead of time and use it. What you could always do is you could use photos. So when we talk about animated Lenin, well, those were pre-existing photos that we animated, and that works. Many of the
during the 48 hours, because I remember there was a team that got disqualified because they had done a set of stills previously that turned into a movie, but it had been previously composed as such, and they got disqualified from winning one.
We've come back to animated elements, both within normal films as well as several full-on animations. And in many cases, it's being able to use those pre-existing assets is the only way to accomplish it. But we're doing it all in the day.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think it's interesting also how we kind of went in and out of the various elements of how we accepted the impossible into a 48-hour film, right? Like, for example, this film, which you're going to see is realism, is a realistic special effect. And you did a beautiful job defining it, etc. Then we kind of morphed a little bit into the more cartoonesque, like, for example, Cinderella and the declining viewers' attitudes towards blah, blah, blah. The way to do that was to have a bear, just bring a cartoon bear in, right? That's a special effect of sorts. And then now it took, 10 years later, we're in the middle of green screens and
one of the things that they've changed in the rules, which I think is interesting, is they're now allowing video-based plug-in effects for things like fire or explosions or gunshots. Because I think what they've realized is that's now the norm, and it's still in the spirit of the day.
Yeah, you're not going to go so far. You're not really cheating the system by using a flame plugin, especially at the professional level of today's competition, right? That is not an indicator of somebody did something in advance and brought it into the thing. I think that's fair, and I think it's a good change.
I think the way that we've always approached special effects is they're helping to tell the story that couldn't be told without them. And that's so fair. Why
I like that? Yeah.
Why not be able to utilize those sorts of elements?
Right. Plus, it reduces liability on people trying to actually do photography of actual flames and actually burn things and gunshots, which they frown on. They frown on it, I think, is one way to say it.
Kickoff, they give the gun warning. And that did not come from their imaginations. You have to imagine at least several films have been shut down by police responding to some strange group of kids in the park with guns. So the year was 2010. This was made for the New York City 48-hour film project. It was in the height of our New Jersey film community operations. This includes so many of the recurring characters of that era, the actors that were in and out of our projects at the time.
Yeah, I don't. I occasionally will forget to mention, and you're going to give me crap for this, but like, for example, the last one we did 2 weeks ago, I didn't really talk about how great an actor Donald Purdy was. Right, he was such an easy guy to work with, such depth. And in this one, we had Greg Skura, we had now my words are escaping me, But I'll let the film show for itself, and then we'll
So
talk
let's
about
watch the film and see how much the actors made it the film that it was.
It's not that I had a bad time. We just didn't hit it off.
Lady, you are setting your standards too darn high.
Listen, we're driving home the other night, and I look over and he's got his little friend out.
His little friend? You mean,
Yeah, right there while he's driving. So I said to him, pull the car over right now.
my God, you poor thing, that is terrible. So you're gonna see him again?
Jesus, Carol. Look, I gotta go. I'll talk to you later.
So the
toaster. That was
in
my toaster.
Watching this now, I think the prop was the toaster.
I think it was, maybe. Let's see if I remember what it was as we go through this whole thing.
To point out is the expert editing, where the song was playing, and then it ended on the beat of the toaster going down.
Good morning, Helen. Did you sleep well?
Good morning, Kevin. Kevin, the butter, it's behind you.
Yes. Yes, it is, Helen.
Do you think you could move out of the way so I can get it?
So we have to talk about the elephant in the room, or more accurately, the head in the refrigerator. Greg Skura. This was the
Great
centerpiece of the film. And the fact that it was just a thing that she had wasn't acknowledged, wasn't explained.
Yep.
It was a matter of fact.
I remember the creative process coming to this one. I remember us going down, and we were sitting in my dining room, which was just right on the other side of that refrigerator there, going over and over again. And I remember it started out as being like a monkey in a pantry that would hand you things that you didn't ask for, but somehow it morphed into a head in a refrigerator.
Well, Helen, I really would like to help you here, but Helen, I'm really just a head.
Really, Kevin?
Helen, you look wonderful. Do you have another date tonight?
What? Yeah, a date. Kevin, butter?
Helen, head.
What do you think she needs all this butter for? Is there an untold story of that toast that maybe needs to be explored in a future film?
She's got a thing for toast, man. It's got to have a lot of butter.
And poor Greg, he's just ahead.
Just ahead. He wants to help. He wishes he could help. But here he is. Just can't. Just ahead.
So, are you seeing John again? He seemed like a nice guy.
No, I am not seeing him again.
Oh, really? Well, maybe you didn't really seem right for each other after all.
I know, right? I mean, he seemed so nice from his online profile, but after meeting him, Wait, why am I telling this to a head?
Well, I've got to tell you, there are many different things.
So I says to the guy, I says, I ain't fixing that truck. That's a half a man's truck. You want me to fix that truck, you're gonna have to suck on this big guy right here.
The story needs to be told of that line.
Then you should tell it.
That is
let everyone know.
Essentially a quote that was relayed to me by one of our friends from high school by the name of Chris Burt. Chris Burt, 1 year during high school, worked at a local establishment called Marcy Beverage. And I believe Chris was helping to load and unload beverages out of the trucks. And so he was working in the back with the working men. And that is a direct quote from one of his coworkers.
I remember now. Yes. That's a half a man's truck. That's
And
hilarious.
half a man's truck was a line that we threw around for years.
Ain't that funny?
What? Oh, yeah.
You want to invite me in?
Oh, no, I don't think that would be a good idea. Good night.
Bitch.
So, how was your date?
So I was watching TV last night with this Morgan Wonder or something, and he was speaking about exactly what I keep saying to you.
Oh, and what's that?
Well, you need to decide what you're looking for before you get into a relationship. You need to figure out what...
Oh, really, Mr. Relationship Expert? No, what exactly are you looking for in a man?
I have very simple needs.
The required character, I believe, was a relationship expert.
That's right.
Now, what I don't recall is the name that she throws out at the beginning of the author that she was quoting was Marty Wonder something. Was that the character? And by proxy, because that would have gotten us disqualified.
It would have.
Which we could have argued, well, no. She's the relationship expert. Marnie is the relationship expert.
That's right.
And she happens to share the same name with the person she was talking about.
Because Allison does call her, what are you, a relationship expert? I think that's fair. I think that's certainly within keeping of the things. Allison does such a great job with this role. So, the funny thing is, the next film she won Best Actress for. We'll get there, though, soon enough.
Tall, handsome, six-figure income, of course, attentive and loving.
And is it any wonder you're still single?
Well, look who's talking. What are you looking for?
I don't know. I guess I just really want someone I can talk to. I want him to really listen to me. I want to be able to look him in the eye and have him see me. The real me.
Oh, and I really want a guy who speaks Italian.
We had a nice little cast of characters as potential suitors for Helen there as we went through. Bob McGrath, Eric Vanderpool, Chris Colangelo.
And Eric Kritzler.
And, of course, myself
who stood up, took the leadership role to say, you can slap me.
You can slap me. And she hit me pretty hard. So that was real. No stage slap there.
So I'd really like to see you again if I.
So, I've been working out lately, and look, I moved the butter, just like you wanted.
Guess I just really want someone I can talk to. I want him to really listen to me. I want to be able to look him in the eye and have him see me. The real me.
This is a cute little film.
I love it. It's a cute little film.
It's...
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot Paul Karen was one of the suitors, too. He plays a great role as a zombie once, another film.
But this film has a nice, tight little plot. It generally flowed nicely in our tried and true kind of step and repeat approach to a film of kind of revisiting the same thing and changing it and moving it. And in the end has a very weird conclusion.
Right. But for me, I think this one works quite well. This is the film that I tell people, if you're going to start with Company Productions to try to understand what we're about, this is a good one to start you with that, because it has a progression. It's quirky, it's neat, it's funny, it's cute, and it's short enough where you don't get bored. So I like that. And Allison and Greg do such a great job. Allison's so good.
And if you really want to, you can pause for a moment and try to think of what she did immediately prior to this to remove her head.
Well, you got to ask yourself, in this microcosm of Untitled Film About a Refrigerator, how does one survive without the rest of one's body? Is that a normal occurrence?
No,
there's got to be something going on there.
If you recall, when we filmed the shots in the refrigerator, they were plates with a little bit of soy sauce or something in the bottom of the plate, because that's how you would stay alive as a dismembered head in a refrigerator.
That's how one does these days, right? And I remember we shot the severed head scenes down in the basement on a white background.
No,
this was before green screening. And this was blue screen? Okay. And and then you composited it all up into this. But it was so cute. I remember they all had to be held really still, right? The head had to be still, but the head could move, just the aspect of the shoulders. It was a lot of fun. Okay, so we pulled Das Ei und die Linkbar, the German film. This one,
it'll speak for itself.
Yeah, this is probably our most watched film ever.
This has probably got some of the biggest press
ever. Yep, by far, and a beautifully, fascinatingly quirky ass film, and I can't wait I'm not going to watch this one beforehand.
So I do want to apologize for going off at the beginning, but what I said I think holds true. I think that we've struggled with these endings, not for a lack of creativity, but for a willingness to accept poor work.
Okay, I think it's time. Then let's wipe the slate clean. Start over with a new methodology, right? Determine what worked. Determine what didn't work. Get rid of all the stuff that didn't work.
I think I've come to the place where I've decided that neither of us are capable of ending one of these episodes. And so I think we need to hand it off to a true professional.
Товарищи, вы досмотрели выпуск. Если эта программа оправдала ваши ожидания, отметьте свое одобрение, поставьте лайк и подпишитесь на канал Cup of Meat Productions. Ваше дальнейшее участие гарантирует, что будущие трансляции будут выходить без перебоев. До нашей следующей встречи оставайтесь внимательными, оставайтесь преданными. Cup of Meat держится.